Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the #1 home improvement YouTube channel in the entire world. Today's video picks up where the last video ended. I know there was a lot of people that got real cranky the way I ended the last video, but you didn't have to wait long. If you got any questions about this stage of this project, put those down in the comments. If you're in the market for an official, original caulk gun hat, am I wearing it? Yeah, I'm wearing a caulk gun hat, or a t-shirt, there'll be a link in the description for that as well. We also have very, very cool coffee mugs. They've been requested for years, and I finally made them. Check the website, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I wanted to jump in and tell you what I'm doing. I've got scrap mock-up, so you kind of get an idea what this looks like. And I've got a piece of 1/4 inch MDF that this is what I'm going to make a template out of. A little pricey, I could have used cardboard. I've got an angle finder, Harbor Freight tape measure, and a pencil. Surprisingly, it wasn't that difficult. The next step for me is to take all this back to the workshop and build it out of better material and with more precision tools to get these angles cut right. Well, here we are back in the workshop. So this is the template made out of scrap wood, and that is the material that I'll be using to build the finished product. That's all I have. I know there's lots of plywood in here, but that is the last pieces that will fit. That's domestic maple, 3/4 inch, pre-finished, both sides, plywood. The layer underneath the maple veneer is MDF. That's gonna make this super straight. Perfect finish. It won't warp. There's a big difference when you don't have that layer of MDF in there. The boards will definitely warp on you. I've got a few 1/2 inch in here somewhere, and they're all bent and warped. These have been in this workshop for over a year, maybe even longer, and they are still perfectly straight. Gotta get these things labeled. They're almost a perfect square. You get going the wrong direction. When you have a very high-end table saw, you don't have to do that old school method like you had to do on your old Craftsman by measuring from the fence to the blade. It's 100% accurate every time. Come on over. Give you pay you well. All right, here we go. So right here we have my mocked up one, just tacked together with nails, scrap wood, and I believe I got everything cut right. Didn't make any mistakes yet. Knock on wood. Now I got to cut my miters on all 3 of these pieces of wood here on the table saw. Now to reduce the chances of me screwing up, I'm just going to draw on these boards the direction my miters need to go. You can tell I've made a lot of mistakes. I get working a lot of hours with hardly any sleep, and this type of work and that combination does not go well. Lots of mistakes when you don't have much sleep. This here is a 0 clearance insert for the table saw. It's an amazing thing. It keeps the dust down by like 90% compared to one of these. Got splitters in here. Works great. But when you're cutting a miter, you need this extra wide gap here so that you can tilt your blade. So 22 inches, not 22 degrees is the cut. And I know this is accurate because it's my saw, and I've used it many times to do this. There's 21 and 22. Lock it down. So one thing I've never made for this saw or bought is a table saw sled. That's a big device that goes down and uses both of these slots to make cuts like I'm going to make right now. Now this one here works perfect if I'm working on the left side of the saw. But I'm going to be working on the right side of the saw. So I'm going back and using this old school thing. Can't even find a name on it, yeah, but that's what we're going with. This is all calibrated for the blade, for my cut, so that I can just slide this thing around just like this. And I put that right on 9. And that's going to give me a 9-inch cut at the blade. And I don't want to mess that up because it took a while to get dialed in. So that's why I'm going with this method here. There's a little bit of eyeballage in this method as well. There's a ton of dust in here. Whew. Gonna kick on the filter fans. Let it air out. As you can see, that is a very tight miter on both the back, or inside and outside. You mind, they're just floating right now. The challenge is, how do you get this glued and fastened as tight as it is right here on the bench? A lot of times when you start putting pressure on it, they want to flop out on you. So what I'm going to do is use my glue bot. I highly recommend this for anybody who's got a workshop. This is my second one. The last one, I let the glue harden up in there. So I got a brand new one just last week. I'm going to use the glue bot to get the glue on there, and then I'm going to shoot 2 nails. Then I'm going to pre-drill from this side right in there. So I hit the middle laminate parts there and screw it. And that should squeeze it together. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Keep in mind, this is my test piece that I made out of scrap, and this is the final piece. And man, everything's looking amazing. It's got to get one more piece cut, and this section of the cabinet will be done. Looks pretty darn good if I do say so myself. This will be a nice looking cabinet. The sink is going to go right around here. We'll have plenty of room for our P-trap. P-trap's going to connect into here at the top, so this whole section is going to get cut out. There'll be a sanitary tee that drops down into there. This is the vent, connects with this vent, goes right up and out. So the big question is, how many sound decibels did this little cabinet reduce it? We started out with 68, I think. Then we went down to 63 with just the sound insulation, this rock wool sound insulation. And now we've got this nice cabinet that's made out of 3/4 inch plywood. It's really thick, it's really dense. It's got the 2 layers of MDF in here. Are you ready? Set? You're gonna have to wait till the next video. I know, I hate when people do that. But put your guesses down below in the comments. We need evidence to see that they've got to hold people accountable. What did this cabinet reduce the decibels by? Will we get under 60 decibels? I hope so. I hope we do. We won't know until the next video. So make sure you subscribe, you click the bell so you're notified when that video comes out. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.